Welcome to this guide to or tutorial of the new root crops as part of the Farming Simulator Premium expansion on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. All things root crops. Well, I say root crops, the new root crops. Carrot, parsnip and red beet or beetroot. We're going to be looking at the equipment, we're going to be looking at the process of planting, of harvesting, the various different things that come with the new vegetable system. I am going to start off though by thanking the sponsor of today's video, and that's Gportal. If you're looking for a reliable and affordable server provider, if you want to play multiplayer and crossplay with friends, look no further than Gportal. Having 20 years of experience, they are the official hoster to some of the world's top gaming studios. With over 14 server locations and a website in more than 8 different languages, you can reach them almost anywhere in the world, except Antarctica, which is what it says on the website. The Gportal Cloud or Game Cloud is the system that's used. So rather than leasing or renting individual servers, you rent a cloud, and you can choose the amount of slots you have on that cloud. That you can then use to have servers. You can have as many servers as you want within that slot amount. So for example, if you had a cloud with 10 slots, you might run 2 servers with 4 slots on that cloud. If you've got a cloud with 20 slots, you could run 2 servers with 4 slots, and then you could run a third server with 12 slots. So you can mix and match how you do it. It's a slightly different way of doing it than just having a server. That's completely customizable whenever you wish. Within a month, at any point, you can go in, you can adjust your servers, add more, delete them, however you want to go about it is entirely up to you. Setup is quick and easy with great customer support 24/7. Over 500 content creators worldwide are Gportal partners, which I think speaks volumes to the company and its ethos. And all the dealings I've had with the guys at Gportal has been absolutely fantastic. My Discord server and Discord community use them. We've got servers running off of our Discord on multiplayer. There's a reflink in the description so you can get a discount as well. I can't tell you how happy we are with them. We really are. They've been a fantastic provider, great customer service, they're great people to deal with, and I would say if you have any issues at all, open a dialogue. Go on the chat, speak to somebody. They are absolutely brilliant. So Gportal for all your server needs. Anyway, let's crack on. This is some of the equipment that we're going to be getting to later on. The bits that everyone's been waiting for. Premium edition, premium expansion is here. I'm on my test map. I'm not on Zolonka. I have done a map tour for Zolonka, which you can go on, or Zylonka, so you can go and have a look at that. The card may come up in the corner if I remember to do it. So, the process for your new root crops: carrot, parsnip and red beet. Preparation of the field you can do any way you want. I know on all the various different blogs they showed you pictures of different things, different bits of machinery that you can use. I've got weeds turned off. If you've got weeds on, at some point weeding will need to be done. Again, that's entirely up to you. I ploughed this field, I then rolled it to get a nice seed bed, and I've done my 2 fertilising states. So I'm good to go, I'm ready. Now you can plant and then you can do a fertilising state, one before, one after. However you want to do it is entirely up to you. You can use all the various different fertilisers available, whether it be slurry, digestate, whether it be solid chemical fertilizer. However you want to go about it is entirely up to you. So my seed bed and all the prep is already done. Now the difference between this and potatoes: when you do potato planting, you put the planter in the ground and it does the ridging, the hilling for you. Part of premium expansion is the fact they've included the Grimmer ridgers or hillers. We have got the GF 400, which is 3 meters wide and 8 slots. And then we have got the Grimmer GF 800, which is 6 meters, also 8 slots. The 4 and the 8 is the amount of ridges it will do. So this will make 4 ridges, this will make 8 ridges, and those are what you plant onto. Now we do have planters as well. We have got this one here, which is the Government Mini Air Nova Rigid, 7 slots, 3 meters wide. That does 4. So what will happen is that will plant directly into the top of the ridges that have been pre-made. Now the thing with this one, it says 7 slots, 3 meters wide. This can be attached to this. These two, the 3 meter ones, can be attached together, so you can ridge and plant at the same time if you want to. The 6 metre doesn't have that option. We've got the 6 metre ridger, and then here we've got the Gportal Mini Air Nova Fold. That's 9 slots and 6 metres wide. So we've got a 6 metre, 6 metre, 3 metre, 3 metre, and I mean you can mix and match however you want to go about it. And what I'm going to show you first of all, actually we'll go into here. So we've got a new category, vegetable technology. That's where you'll find everything. So that's under our vehicles. If we go down to our tools and we go to vegetable technology, there we are. The GF 400, 28 grand. The GF 800, 59,500. Options on that. We've got the 3-point yes or no. So if you want to attach the planter on the back, you can. You don't have to, so you don't have to have that on there if you don't want to. The GF 800 just comes like that with no options. Then you've got the Gportal Nova Rigid, no options, 12,500, and then the Nova Fold, 51,500. So we don't have separate machines for ridging and planting of the individual carrot, parsnip and red beet. These machines will do all 3 crop types. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the ridger first. So we turn the ridger on, lower it down, and off we go. 7 miles an hour. That is preparing and creating our ridges. Now something I'm going to test in a little while as well is when you have done your seeding, normally, I say normally, after seeding, sowing, you can then roll your fields. So the question is, if you roll your field, will it have an impact? Will it make a difference to the crop growing? Will it make a difference to the yield? You should get a bonus of, is it 3 or 5% for rolling? So what I'm going to do, if I lower this down now, let me go back, we can hook that on as well. Now, what I will say is the planters have very, very minimal capacity. This one here has 16 litres, that's all. These boxes only hold 16 litres. And on the 6 metre, which is double, only holds 32 litres. So I've grabbed front seed boxes on both of them to make sure I've got enough seed. I am curious to see how much it will use. Now, we have got some screens that hopefully will come up now. Part of the Farming Simulator Academy, there's some pictures that were put out on the blog post about the yield, average selling price, seeds per hectare, growth duration, when they're planted, when they're harvested. So yields per hectare, carrots are supposed to do 77,000 litres per hectare, average selling price 1,320, 10 litres per hectare. Now obviously that will change if you're doing precision farming. Various different things will change. Growth duration of 4 months, planted in April to July, harvested August to November. Parsnips 69,500 litres per hectare, 1,310 average selling price, also 10 litres. Growth duration also 4 months, April to June planted, August to October harvested. And then the red beet 57,800 litres per hectare, 1,220 average selling price. Seeds per hectare is more for red beet, that's 40 litres. 4 month growth duration, April to June planting, August to November. So if you saw in this menu, if we go back up to here, you'll see at the bottom we're in our planting window, we're in May. So if you've got seasonal growth on, that's when you can plant, that's when you can harvest. If you've got seasonal growth turned off, you can plant and harvest whenever you like. It will still take 4 months for them to grow. So what we'll do, I'll show you this then. If I turn that on, that's interesting. Well, that's weird. So that 3 metre seeder is going way wider than the ridges. Shouldn't be doing that, surely. I was also curious. Well, we have just used a tiny bit. It says it's gone down to 99%. That's hardly using any seed at all. So that's if you want to plant, if you want to ridge and plant at the same time. What I am now going to do, got a bit of a bump here. I'm going to use the 6 metre ridger, and I'm going to do 2 rows for each crop. And we'll see. I mean, not that I'm not disputing the yields. I'm just curious to see what it's going to be like. So I turn that on, drop that down. I'm going to hire a worker. I'm going to do 2 rows, and we'll put carrots in. 2 rows parsnips, 2 rows red beet. So that should turn around and come back the other way. It's not a bad speed either, because I was thinking when it comes to doing these, especially if you're doing a big field, it's going to take absolutely ages if you've got to ridge and then plant. But actually, it's not really. If you hire a worker, set your worker off ridging and you plant, or if you're playing multiplayer, or let's go back that way. So that's the ridger, and I'll see you in a moment when we're planting. And then what we'll do, we'll zoom ahead to harvesting, and we'll have a look at some of the harvesters, because I'm curious about the harvesters as well. So that's our 2 rows ridging. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do 2 rows on my little field just over there, and I'm going to roll it, because I am also then curious to see what difference it makes. It shouldn't affect the growing at all. Just to say to you, look, when you have planted, you can roll afterwards, because there's that thing of when you look at it, you think, surely I can't roll that, because that's where, when you're doing potatoes, that's where the potatoes grow. They grow in those ridges. If I roll that all flat, surely that's going to ruin it. So that's going to be part of the test. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some out on the end as well. Once I've done the 2 rows of each, the end plot of this I'll do so we can use the self-propelled harvester as well. Let's go again, see what happens this time. Seed usage. Oh, there you go, it's gone down. I mean, next to nothing. That's using so little. That's crazy. Right, switch over to red beet. Now, red beet's supposed to use 40 litres per hectare rather than 10. That's obviously why. Let's line that up. Hire a worker. This should go down a little bit faster. But even that, doing massive fields, you're going to use hardly anything. Yeah, it's gone down a litre. Really not very much at all. So as far as seed use goes, absolutely brilliant. Because I was thinking, with only a capacity on the small one of 16 litres and this one of 32, that's going to get through that so fast. It really isn't. So did I need the front seed tanks? Probably not. But that's the whole point of doing this. So I'm going to get the rest of this seeded. I'll get it grown. I'm not worried about weeds. If you're running weeds, really don't affect the root crops themselves. This is just looking at the root crops. This isn't looking at weeds. But if you've got weeds on and you're running them, that's absolutely fine. I'll see you in 4 months. What I might do, we might jump in every now and again to see the growth stages, but that will just be a brief, might be a screenshot, might be a few seconds just to look at it. So I'll see you in a little while. Sorry, I'm back again. Before we skip ahead, this section here I've done two rows again, and I'm rolling this for that test to see about the rolling, whether it will make any difference. And the other thing that I was going to suggest and test, do you actually need to use the hiller? Do you need to use the ridging machine? Can you just use these as planters and plant these root crops without putting the ridges in? So, in answer to that question, let's hire a worker with carrots. No, you don't. What I will say though, If you don't use the hiller, the ridging machine, that is using the seed way quicker. And so what I'm going to do now, let's switch that over to red beet, turn it on, hire a worker. But it does just go to show you don't have to use the ridging tool if you don't want to. You can just plant these normally. And we'll see, these, I don't see any reason why these won't grow any differently to these. But I'm going to carry on, get these rolled, and then I will see you in a little while. It's been 4 months, saying they're ready to harvest. They're looking bushy and wonderful. It's very cool having new crops. Very cool. Look at that. So, as far as harvesting goes then, we have quite a few options. We've got some 3-point link mounted, we've got trail behind, and we've got self-propelled with various different functions. We got some that use boxes, some that have pipes. Now some of these don't have capacities, so you're going to have to hire a worker then run alongside it, or if you're playing multiplayer, 2 of you will need to harvest. This one's very, well, they're all very cool, so we'll have a look at those. We've also got this part of the FIFO. That's a pallet loader specifically for these. So we've got devolved pallets as well, which you can buy. And you can then have them on a trailer. You can load them and unload them. You don't have to use this. You can use any sort of pallet forks you like, or you can buy from the vehicle, which we'll also have a look at. So if we come back to here, and if I go down to, actually, you know what? We'll stick on vegetable technology. So we start here with the P3CL Profi 39,500. That's a slot count of 10. Options on this, none. 0.8 meters, that's a 1 row. We've got the P3K Profi, that's also 10 slots, 0.8 meters wide, that's 43 grand. Difference between that one and the other one, the first one takes boxes, this one's got pipe for unloading. We've then got the GBC. The GBC is 15 slots, 0.8 meters wide. Now this one's a little bit different. This is trail behind rather than 3-point link mounted, and it looks like it's got a hopper with a pipe extending. So we'll have a look at that as well. We have got the option for Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Vredestein, back again, and license plate on those. We then go to the GK, I think it's the GK2S. The GK2S, that's 17 slots and 1.5 meters wide, 148 grand. That's a 2 row trail behind, but this one's also got a pipe. I don't think this one has a hopper, so you're going to need to run alongside it. And then we go to the GCCI, or the GCC1, 181 grand. That one is 14 slots, but goes back to 0.8 meters wide. It's a 1 row, but this one takes boxes, and other than the first one holds 1 box at a time, this will do 4 boxes at a time. Same options for tyres: Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, Vredestein, back again. Then if we come out of our trailed versions and go up to our vehicles and go to vegetable technology, that's where you'll find the ZK IV, the ZK4 SE, 637,500. That's 31 slots, 3 meters wide. That's a 4 row self-propelled. And again, I'm looking at that thinking that could be a hopper, it could just be a belt. I don't know what the capacity of this is, because it doesn't say to the left it has a capacity. It gives its weight, so potentially you've got to run alongside this all the time as well. Again, that's what we're going to be checking out. So boxes, as I said, we can use this if we want to. If we attach that, if I unfold it and I lower it like so, we can back onto our pallets. I can raise it. I've then got the option of L1, and I can raise and lower. I can also bring the forks in and out. If I go to R1, I can widen or narrow the forks as you can with most pallet forks, but I don't need to with this. Then when you get to where you're going, I can drop that down, lower it, and away I go. All very lovely. That's part of the premium as well. The Fiat Agri 180/90. So we'll start off then with the P3CL. We'll hook up, we'll unfold it, and we'll look at what it does, look at the options. So unfold the harvester, does that, and puts the forks out. So it says load boxes. If I press triangle now, it will do that. When if I back up to a box, actually I probably need to lower that, there we go, lower the whole rig down, it will then go, boom, pick that up, and we're good to go. But if I want to unload the box, if I've decided I don't want to do that, I can unload the box, it will drop it off, I can drive forward, and I can unload the box. You can do that when they're full as well, but we do also have the option, L1, it says buy new boxes. So if I press right on my D-pad, I can buy a new box, yes, and it'll put one on there. So if you don't want to have to keep putting them on and off, when you get a full one, you can drop the full one off, then you can just buy one directly and put it straight on. So you, like I say, you don't have to muck around, you can just buy them directly and they will appear. So good thing with this one, you don't need to have something run alongside you to do it. Turn it on, drop it down. It is single row, like we say. We are doing carrots. This is so cool doing this for the first time. Oh, but that is picking up 2 rows though. It's only supposed to be a single row. But I am getting 2 rows. Okay, that's pretty cool. Catch it just right. It does bode well for the others. I'm curious to see. I'm assuming the box is, oh, it's going to be a 2,000 litre, isn't it? How fantastic! I know not everyone's raving about the new premium, and you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Of course they are. If people aren't raving about it, I think this is fantastic. Having a new crop, or new crops, should I say, with new machinery doing new things. So once we hit, like I say, I'm assuming to be 2,000. There we go. So what I've got to do now is unload box, which will do that. If I kick that back a little bit and go forward, I can, if I want to, then buy new box. Yes please. It's already got the 202 litres that was in there, and I go again. That's fantastic. Okay, so that's the P3CL that will require boxes, but I like the fact you don't then have to worry about keep reloading it if you don't want to. That being said, you will then have boxes all around the field that will need to be picked up. You can't pick them up by hand. Various different pallet forks. There's the CSZ pack, there's big bag handlers, there's all sorts of stuff that will work with these, and you can go around and pick up your boxes. Brilliant. Next up then, the P3K. P3K's got a pipe. I'm curious on this one. So we'll hook up. Pipe out. Now there are various different mods that will pick up from the ground. Pipe on this one, once it's opened, we can raise and lower the pipe, or auger, and we can adjust the top end of it as well, so we can bring that right up or down depending on what size trailer we're putting into. I think we can probably unload here, so it will allow us to unload onto the ground if you want to, and then come and pick up with buckets and stuff like that. Let's hire a worker, because I'm not next to it. It won't move, will it? Because it hasn't got a capacity, so you've got to be next to it. Always learning along with MrSealyp. So what should happen then if we come alongside it? It will then start to go, because you're alongside it. There we go. Well, that will stop in a moment. Right, so there you go. Hire a worker, Once you're alongside it, then it will start moving. That's why it wasn't moving. It doesn't have a capacity of its own, so it can't. It needs something alongside it. Okay, so that's that one. That's the P3K Prophy. Now we move on to the GBC. The Dwarf GBC. We unfold this one. Now this one looks like it's got a capacity. Let's pick, because that's already been done, hasn't it? I think we need to go over to a crop over here to make life a little bit easier. So, it swings the whole lot out. I think we've got the option, yeah. The option on R1 and right stick side to side, we can adjust the angle of this in and out. So we can move it to make adjustments if we want to. We do have a beacon on it, we do have lights. If we do pipe out, it won't operate with pipe out, but that's for unloading, which makes me think that hopper will fill up first. The animations on these are so cool. Pipe in. So we're going to go with a different crop then, are we? There we go. Parsnips. So that will now fill up. Once that's full, we then pipe out and we can unload into a trailer. So this one will operate because it's got its own capacity. Again. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Actually, did it show the capacity in here? It probably did, and I, like the buffon I am, I missed it. Capacity on that? 5,500 litres, there we go. So that's got a capacity of 5,500. So once we hit the 5,500 litres, pipe out, come alongside it, we can unload. It's nice, we've got quite a few different options on these as well. That's fantastic, isn't it? What a bit of kit. We could unload onto the floor if we wanted to as well. If I go pipe out now, not that you particularly want to, but you can if you want. There you go, unload here. There's our parsnips. I do like a parsnip. Anyway, next we've got the GK2S double row, but this doesn't have a capacity. This one needs to be unfolded as well. I think what I'll do, I'll get, because I want to see the yield thing on these. I'm curious about the yields. And these, oh actually yeah, that was what I was going to say as well. This one here that I rolled made no difference. It still grew, no problem at all. Now like I say, this doesn't have a capacity, so I'm assuming I can hire a worker, but we're going to need to have something alongside it. Now if the other one, the single row did 2 rows, if I get this just in the middle, I wonder if this will do 3 potentially. Right, pipe up. So that's good to go. Just so I'm going to get a trailer. So we come alongside. I know I'm going to be driving over this crop, but that's alright. There we go. And we are getting 3 rows done in one go, which is pretty cool. That is fantastic. Look at it go! I just want to do massive fields of these now. Let's turn that one off now. So that's the GK2S, the GKIIS. Let's get that out of the way. And to be fair, even though it is 2 row, the fact it will do 3 I can't get over the level of detail on these is just staggering. I mean, they look fantastic. All of them do. Right, last one of the trailed. And it's this one then, the GCC1 or the GCCI. This one requires pallets as well. So what we need to do is unfold it, which does that, 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 and that. But when I'm ready to put boxes on, if I press triangle, so L1, load boxes, it swings it that way. And once I've bought some boxes, if I've got them out already, let's swing round. I come up alongside my row of boxes. Like this. That is so good. So good. 3 boxes, 4 boxes. On we go. Then I lift my platform. Like that. Goes back to that position and we are good to go for our harvesting. And because we don't have to worry. Actually, does this have automatic unload? I don't think it does it? Single row, but we might be able to do 2. So we'll hire a worker. Up there. Trash comes out the back, right at the bottom. That's going to the first basket. It's the conveyor switches. That's incredible. How cool is that? I'll try and get it to do. I want it to do a switch over. So I want to see if I can get it to do 2 rows. Let's try that. There we go, that's better. Please don't run out. Oh, that's curious. Oh no, it switched. It switched the front box now. Whoa, that is cool. Wow. Haha. I've always said when I do guide twos, I prefer to learn along with people. I've always did that when I was teaching as well. You feel like you're learning along with, not just someone preaching to you or talking at you. So when that one's full, what happens? I don't think we're going to get it full, are we? I decided to do a row on here. I just want to see this work. That's so cool. I'm assuming you still have to manually unload. It doesn't matter. We know the yields per hectare. We know the carrots will out-yield parsnips, and we know the parsnips will out-yield red beet. I just want to see this work, so. As we always know, no plans survives contact with MrSealyp. That should switch. There we go. Front box. So technically it will hold 8,000 litres. And the same with this one as well. You can buy boxes. You don't have to place them on yourself. You can buy them as well. So I'm assuming it will stop and then ask me to unload. So now unload boxes. Let's push that back a little bit. There we go. And then we can lift platform, buy new boxes if I want to. So I'm going to buy 4. Do I want to buy 4? Yes, please. We're good to go. And off we go again. That is mint. That is incredible. That so far is my favourite one. I know it's a lot of boxes and then you've got to pick them all up and that kind of thing. I'm wondering how many people are going to come up with new devices and grabs and things for the various different for picking these boxes up, like coming along and picking 4 up at a time or something. There must be machines out there that do it. And I wonder if we're going to start whether these will work with certain auto load trailers, so you could drive along behind with an auto load and pick them up. Fantastic. Right, which brings us on to the last one of the harvesting bits of equipment, and it's the ZK IV SE, or ZK4. Start this up. Beacons, horn, lights, unfold, turns on a dime. Sounds fantastic. Interior, look at this. Let's turn the engine off. Wow, there's no doors or windows that open. Like I say, I'm not sure what they said about capacity. We can adjust our pipe, like so. So I'm assuming, so potentially at 4 rows, if we got those between the rows we might be able to get 5, but let's hire a worker and see what happens. Right, so we do need to run alongside this. It doesn't have a capacity, so I've just hired a worker and it's not moving. Let me go and grab a trailer. Okay, so we've done carrots, we've done parsnips. Whoa, look at that. Trash going through. Oh, I did parsnips on here. I need to switch over into the red beet. I want to see some red beet going. That's phenomenal. Huh. Look at that. Right, that's what we're going to do. Let's swap to the vehicle. Let's do that. Do that. Want to see red beet before we finish? Now, as I said, all things root crop, or the new root crops, from here you can sell them directly. You can just sell them as the root crops they are, but we do have new production, so if you haven't watched my map tour as well, I've got them over the back there. I'm going to be doing a separate video on the productions that come with part of this. If we go into our build mode, go to production and go to our factories. So we do have a potato processing plant which makes crisps, potato chips, but that requires oils as well. We've got preserved food factory which jars the carrots, parsnips or beetroot. And then we have got a soup factory which makes canned soups. So you can sell them directly, or you can make other things out of them with the productions that come with this. As you can see, we're on Western Wilds, so as long as you've got the premium expansion enabled, selected on the map you're on, you'll get the buildings, you'll get the factories, you'll get the crops. You can run them on any map you want to. So what we're going to do is turn that on, up to that trailer, grab that, and let's see some red beet before we finish. I have to say, they grew no problem at all. Harvesting is an immense amount of fun. We've had a look at the pricing and stuff as well, and that will vary depending on whether you're on easy, normal or hard economy, and sometimes that will vary depending on maps, and also sell points. If you've got modded sell points and stuff on. Let's see some of this going in, shall we? I guess it is slightly frustrating. The only frustrating thing with this, being it's just such a big vehicle, that you can't, you've got to run alongside it. This is designed for multiplayer, or I mean, you can do this, of course you can. With a big enough trailer, you can keep going backwards and forwards. But this isn't something, unfortunately, when you think about the size of harvests, and you think about, I am wondering when Chris S and Riley S. We get some stuff from them. There you go, there's our beets in there. If you've got a contract on a massive field for these, if you're using one of these, and if you think some of the sugar beet harvesters and stuff that have got a 35,000 litre capacity, the fact this doesn't have a capacity of its own, you can't just hire a worker and let it run. You've got to be alongside it the whole time, as you can see. So that's the only downside I can see to it. It's fantastic, I love it, it's great, it's a new piece of kit and it works brilliantly. And that's it, that's planting them, that's putting them in the ground. You don't need to necessarily use a ridge or a hiller, but you can ridge, hill and seed at the same time if you hook them together. The various different harvesters, some require boxes, some don't, some require you to run alongside, some have got their own capacity. So you do have a few different options to pick and choose, whether you want to run boxes or not. I think the one with 4 boxes is my favourite. The trail behind one that's got its own capacity, that's a good one. That one I do like. When you consider this is doing 4 rows, and potentially depending on where you place it you might get 5 rows out of it. I was doing 4 rows or 3 rows with that trail behind one. So yeah, I don't know, I suppose it depends how you view it. Like I say, we will get on to the next video. We'll look at the productions. They're fairly straightforward. What you've got to put in, what's required, but I want to see the boxes and stuff that come out, and see how long it takes for them to be produced as well. That's something I'm curious about. But there you go. That's your guide to the new crop types. Preparation, getting them in the ground, and getting them out the ground. All 3, carrots, parsnips, and red beet. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.